Hello there and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021, and also Happy New Year's. It is 2026, baby, and this is the first game we're going to be doing to kick off the new year. Thought we'd go back to a classic game, mainly just because I have acquired all of the DLC for this game with the Steam Winter Sale. I spent about, I think about $30 for all the DLC that I didn't have. It's actually pretty cheap right now, so if you have this game and want to get the DLC for it, because you don't have it, definitely, I think now is about the time, because a lot of them DLCs are like 70-80% off. It's pretty good. But yeah, so we got all the DLCs and I'm ready to go, and we're going to be starting a brand new game as well, working on all these jobs and stuff like that, and we'll see how she goes. I guess I'm just going to play till I get tired of it. Probably won't do it all in one sitting, but we'll see. Oh, and if you guys have not seen it, I did do a 2025 end of the year celebration video. If you have not seen it over on my channel, I just posted it yesterday. Definitely go check that out. It was a lot of fun to make. Took me a long time as well, so hopefully you all enjoy it. But yeah, if you do or don't, that's up to you, I suppose. All right, so let's go ahead and get on into this. Let's go. Alrighty then, and here we are. It's good to be back into this game. I can't wait to see what we get up to. Starting off with $4,000, huh? Oh, look at the cars. Oh man, hopefully they, we've been waiting for a new car mechanic sim game to come out, and hopefully that the next one that does come out, hopefully it's this year, first of all, and then hopefully they take the game that they have here and they just improve upon it. Don't remove anything, okay? Just improve upon it, make the cars more complicated, stuff like that to work, make everything more complicated to work on, get some different stuff going, so there's too many generic parts, I think, in the game. Oh yeah, that's left click. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to get used to the controls again. Okay. Here, how do we take a job? That's the radio. It doesn't matter anyway. I got that radio off because the music in this game, unfortunately, is copyrighted. I remember there was a few videos where we had a 6-hour long video and it got copyrighted, and I had to, or would have had to, what do you call it, profit share, or they'd get all the money from that if that video made any money. All because of like a 2-minute section where the music was there, even though I was talking over it, and it's just like, yeah, we're not gonna have that. Like I respect the artists to be able to have copyright and everything like that. I just think YouTube takes it too far, especially when if it's not a certain percentage of the video, maybe it shouldn't really count. Like 6 hours versus 2 minutes. That's kind of. That's a bit excessive, I think. But anyway, so tab is that. I'm gonna change that. Oh, that's our inventory. Oop, E, okay, that doesn't do anything. Oh, here we go. That's right. We take it from the. Oh, we get the Bolt Sunrise police car. We can get it started on a job, or we get started with the story job. So we are on what do you call it, expert mode, so none of the parts are highlighted. It doesn't tell you which parts come off first, as well as a lot of jobs, except for I think the story ones. I don't remember if the story ones tell you what needs to be fixed or not, but yeah, I do remember that. So we got the Luxor. This is like a American sedan essentially. So hi, I was just passing by and I noticed your repair shop. It's good that somebody took care of the old ruined petrol station. The car that I am coming with today is quite a recent purchase. It was used on a daily basis. The condition is rather okay. It would be good to check the oil levels and tires. That should be no problem for you. If you manage, then perhaps this won't be our last meeting. See you. So change the oil drain, fill with new, and it's got other tasks. Okay, take order. Take order. Take enter. There we go. I was like, what is the button? Just kind of stumbling my way. we'll be stumbling our way through this for the first, like, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Maybe an hour. And look at this beauty. She does need a little wash, but unfortunately we don't have a way to wash it. Oh yeah. Big trunk space. And also, I bet this sucker's got a V8. As big as this car is, you have to have a V8 just to move the damn thing. Yeah, look at that. We got ourselves a classic V8. Classic pushrod engine. Very old school, especially with the exhaust system. And it is a dual carbureted, of course. I bet those are probably quad barrels too. Okay, so if you don't know anything about me or anything like that, I went to college for auto mechanics, and I also did car mechanic stuff. Yeah, in the past. I don't do it anymore. Gosh, I can't even get around a car anymore, hardly. I can barely walk around my damn house. I ain't gonna be working on no cars. I mean, you know, if it's a simple enough job where I can sit there and work on it without having to move too much, especially my back and stuff like that, yeah, I could definitely work on a car. You know, doing like brakes or anything like that. Stuff that isn't too difficult. But anyway, so I'll be dropping a little bit of mechanics knowledge. And if I ever get anything wrong or explain something wrong or anything like that, you guys feel free to correct me in the comment section. I am more than happy to make sure that all the information that I do talk about is correct. Of course, unless I'm making a joke, then obviously there's no reason to correct me there. But anyway, so this guy wanted an oil change, so we'll start with that. We need to go all the way up. Where is the drain pan? So last time it was over here. Oh no, there's nothing over here. We got our old school bus. I wish we could fix up the school bus. I really want to fix up the school bus and drive it around. I think that'd be really cool. Like, if you eventually get enough parts, you could drive it around and stuff like that. Wait, is that tire spinning? No, that was just a weird graphical. And there's like a weird, like, graphical thing. Whatever. But yeah, just a simple shop starting off, you know, brand new. Oh, there's the oil thing. Okay. Okay, move equipment. Put it back on car lift A. Or put it on car lift A. Alright. Okay, we can click on stuff. Hold it. Hold it. Take out direct click? No. Left click? No. E? Oh, E and Q does the zoom. Oh, what did I just do? No, not that. No, back out. Get out of there. How in the hell do we drain the oil again? Can't take out the drain plug. Alright. Look, okay, I may have a lot of hours in this game, and I may have every single achievement on Steam. Not to toot my own horn or anything. But, yeah, I haven't played this game in over a year, probably. I don't even remember when I had it uninstalled, so it's not going to tell me when I last played it. So I just reinstalled it the other day. So it's like, well, maybe we'll play that. All right, and give me that oil filter. Yes, give me that oil filter. Now, in real life, I would have left this underneath there. Let's put it back. Yeah, so we'll do some real life stuff. Yeah, I'd leave this because going to pull off this oil filter, we definitely lose a bunch of oil. There's going to be oil coming out of the engine a little bit, and then also there's going to be, that filter's going to be full of oil, so you put it inside that drain pan and then just turn it upside down so it all gets drained out into this little tank here. All right. Okay, what else do we got? Let's see here. Okay, so it does list all the stuff it wants us to change. Change oil, change fluid. Okay, so refill washer fluid. They want us to change the power steering fluid, and they want us to change the brake fluid too. Why? I mean, yeah, it's going to be older, but unless it's needing to be changed, you don't really change that stuff. You don't just go in for an oil change and then they drain all your fluids and put in fresh. No, they're just going to top stuff off. I was like, unless it's like particularly nasty, like for some reason it's got a bunch of contaminants in it. Like if your brake fluid or whatever is like black or like a really dark color, you know, you should probably figure out why that is, and then maybe refresh that fluid, bleed the brakes and everything, get all that nasty fluid out of there so the brakes work good. That kind of stuff. Okay. So what else? So they wanted... Yeah, we could do the oil. Brake fluid and power steering. Okay. Alright. Okay, I'm guessing we take off the cap. Take off the cap. Uh-oh. Something's not working. Yeah, it's not, additional tools. Drain. Do that. Okay, we've drained the fluid. You know, part unmount. That one appears to be broken. Maybe let me escape and come back. Ah, it was just bugged, I guess. Wait, does that say motor 1 liter? Oh, dot 3 and 4. Okay, I was gonna say, does that say motor oil? Yeah, motor oil doesn't really work like that. Although I suppose it could if you give it enough pressure, but man, the pressure would have to be pretty crazy in order for motor oil to give a hydraulic effect. Because you'd have to compress it so much that it couldn't compress. Well, you'd have to try and compress it so much that it couldn't compress, and then maybe. So they just wanted the washer fluid topped up right. Yeah. We don't really have a fill line, so I'm just gonna go with the casting there. There. This one does have a fill line. You can see it there. Okay, so they wanted the drain tool. They want us to pull out all the old power steering. Like I said, you wouldn't normally do this unless you're either A, replacing the fluid because it's extremely contaminated and it's not really working like it's supposed to, or you're replacing a part, like the master cylinder, the brake master cylinder, which is the thing we just filled. If you were, say, like replacing that because it was leaking or damaged, then yeah, you would just replace the fluid. You just put the new one on, flush it, and then put brand new, put your fresh fluid in there, and then you flush out, or you do the brake bleed on all of them. Just a basic fluid flush for that. I mean, I probably wouldn't even do that. I mean, obviously you're gonna bleed all the air out, but maybe not bleed it out until it's fresh. I have no idea. Oh, I do, but whatever. Shut up. I don't look. Okay, I'm extremely tired. I just got done 12 hours worth of editing on a freaking video. I just really felt like playing Car Mechanic Sim all of a sudden. Okay. Alright, we can't refill that because we need to buy an oil filter. Alright, so they wanted... What else do you want? Fuel pump, oil filter, obviously. Brake pads. Brake pads, standard tire... Round air filter. Okay. Let's go with that. Yeah, so they want this air filter taken off. They want a brand new air filter. Alright, is it a quad? Yep, it's a quad jet carb. Or quad barrel. Whatever you want. There's so many damn names for it. But yeah, quad barrel because there's 4 barrels. Yeah, it's one hell of... This is one hell of a machine, I tell you. One hell of a fuel waster, too. It's a nice engine, but damn, does it use all the fuel. Like, there's a saying for these type of cars, including the pickup that I own. It's just like, oh yeah, those good old vehicles, yeah, they'll pass anything on the highway but a gas station. It's like, yeah, that's true. It's just like, true. You can't argue with that. Can I take out this tire? Did I hit E? Nope. Oh, right click. Okay. Yeah, because spraying WD-40 on a lug bolt is going to do a whole heck of a lot of good when it's absolutely stuck in there. I mean, it might be able to seep in, but realistically. Okay, brake caliper. Go to the backside here. Pull the bolts out for the brake caliper. Now, in real life, the brake pads would come with it. In most cases, depending on how bad. Like if the disc is worn down to where it's got a lip right here on this outer edge, then the brake pads will stay. they'll stay there. They'll slide right out of the brake caliper. But usually, you know, if you're keeping up with your brakes, it shouldn't be that bad, unless it's like really old. Like that, I guess this car would be really old. Also, yeah, the brake discs aren't looking in the greatest condition. They're looking pretty worn, but we're gonna say that they look old. You know, they look old, but they're not. They're within spec, and they're not. They don't have massive grooves in them. Although, if you see this on a brake disc, you need to replace it because you can see it. You can just see all the little grooves inside there. I mean, it is shiny, so maybe not, but you could just see the rust sitting in some of the grooves, and it's just like, this is no good. This car's been sitting a while. If I was looking at this in real life, I'd be like, yeah, that car's been sitting a while. Okay, so they wanted new tires too. And also, yeah, it'd be awesome if I get one of the developers to watch this. So I can explain to them what they need to do. Alright, these American vehicles don't have lug bolts. I mean, I know you probably did that just for convenience. You don't want to have lug nuts and lug bolts on vehicles. Just for ease of convenience and stuff like that, for quickness and whatnot. But yeah, most vehicles in America have, or most vehicles that are from America, in America, whatever, have lug nuts. Lug bolts are really only found on foreign vehicles. I think a lot of foreign vehicles have lug nuts nowadays anyway. I don't know where what kind of vehicles would have lug bolts. See, I you know, working on vehicles, I've been working on vehicles since I was 5 pretty much. I mean, obviously not all the time, but that's when I started. Like I learned how, like at a very young age, I learned how to do a small tune-up on an engine and how to do brakes and stuff like that. And I wasn't even out of middle school yet. Yeah, my uncle, he was a car mechanic, still a car mechanic even. You know, he dropped out of high school back when he went to school. It wasn't required to finish high school. He dropped out of school and then wanted to own his own business, so he started a mechanic shop. All on his own too. Pretty freaking awesome. All right. So separate parts. Now with this type of machine, this is a tire mounting machine essentially. So in this particular case, what we would do is we put our tire next to the machine basically. Usually you're gonna have some kind of tool that looks like a screwdriver. It's going to look like a very weird screwdriver. It's called a core remover tool. I don't know if you... No, I don't see one around here. And there might be one in there. But it's a core remover tool, and basically you're going to remove the core from your valve stem of your tire, and when you screw it out and completely take it out of there, what that's going to do is it's going to let all the air out of the tire. If it's not flat, of course. And then once you get all the air out of the tire, then you're going to put the air... Let's see if I can crouch down. You're going to put the tire right up against this little black strip here, and you see this little thing here. This is your bead breaker, basically. So you're going to put the tire in there, and then you're going to put this right on... Don't make sure it's not going to hit the rim, just before the rim on the rubber portion of the tire. And what you do is you push this foot pedal? There we go. You push this foot pedal right here, and then what that's going to do is that's going to pull in. You can actually see it. See this rod right here? That's going to pull in this rod and hydraulically or well, not hydraulically, but air push. This is going to be all air powered usually. I mean, I think there might be some hydraulic ones, but the ones I've used are all air powered. And what that's going to do is it's going to break the bead on both sides of the tire. So if you actually look at the tire, so yeah, the way this is separated, sometimes they stick to the rim. Actually, in most cases they stick to the rim. That's what you want because it seals good that way. Yeah, they stick to the rim, and use this to break those beads and get the tire off of the rim, basically unstuck from the rim. And then you flip the tire around, and then you do the back side. You can do the front side or the back side, doesn't matter which. You're also going to, at this point, you're going to remove the weights if there is any weights on it. Some weights are sticky weights like these are, which stick on the inside of the rim usually. And then some of them are like weights that sit on the lip of the rim, and you got to remove those as well. And then you're going to put your tire on, or you're going to put your tire and your rim on this little thing, and then these little arms, depending on the size of the rim. If it's a small rim, you're going to put it on this, and then these little things are going to hit up on the inside of the rim. It's going to lock it in place. If it's a big rim, you're going to use this portion of it, which you're going to push this pedal so that these come all the way out, and then put your thing down, or put your rim down in place, and then you're going to push it again, and then that's going to then bring those in and lock on the inside or on the outside of that lip and hold the rim down as well. There's two different ways to do it. So, and then you're going to put your tire on there. So we're going to separate that. And this little arm is going to come out, and you're going to put this arm so it touches that rim right there. So it just touches the rim. Usually there's going to be like a plastic piece to keep the rim from getting scratched up. And then there's usually a bar somewhere to then put on the inside of this lip of the rubber. This is the only time I'll explain this, by the way. And then when you put that on the inside of that lip, then you pull the bar up and over this little piece right here on that arm, and then you hold that down, and then that basically pulls this lip of rubber up and over, usually on this side, or usually there's another little piece of it, and then as it goes around and spins around, the tire then comes up, and you get this situation that you got going on here in the game. And then you got to do it a second time. You got to do it a second time because you've got this slip that's also got to go around the rim as well. So you got to do that, and then you can go ahead and take your stuff. So, and then basically to put it back together, you just do it in the reverse. So, yeah. Like I said, that's the only time I'm going to explain that, because man, this is the type of thing, like auto mechanics especially, is one of those type of teachings that is better shown than just told to you or shown in a book or even in a video. You have to just show it to the person and then make them do it, essentially, because that's the best way. I think that, to me, that's the best way of doing that. Best way to learn. And there's the last tire there. Okay. So now we need our parts. Wasn't there like a shopping list somewhere? Or was that with the tablet? Let's look on the computer here. Shopping list. Oh. Wait, how do I add stuff to this? I don't remember. Add to shopping list down there. Okay. So they wanted tires replaced, so... No, I don't want to sell it. Space. Oh, just hover over it. Okay. 2, 3, 4. And we need 2 of these, 1 of those, and 1 of those. Was there anything else? Fuel pump. Okay, we need a fuel pump. I don't have the fuel pump. Let's grab the fuel pump. Up and down, up and down, up and down here. Alright, fuel pump. Fuel tank's usually back here. Yep. And fuel pump is one of those generic parts that I'm not really a fan of, but it's okay. And then inventory, fuel pump. No, don't sell it. There we go. Okay, this is going to be kind of a boring episode, I imagine. All right, open shopping list tab. Okay. Oh, that's the tire shop, of course. All right, would they say standard? Hold on. Yeah, standard tire. 215.75. So 215. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. 215.75. 215.75, 15. Yeah, R15. So the size of the rim, the width, and the profile. So the 215 is the width of the tread, and the profile is from the rim to the edge, basically the sidewall of the tire. So that's what those numbers. And the R15, that's the rim size. So the rim size is 15. Then we needed 4 of them. So that's basically that. Okay. Oh, I mean, probably should buy all the parts, shouldn't I? Okay, what about oil filter? Perfect. Buy part. Okay. Don't know why it escaped out of that. Yep, give me that. Perfect. Oh, I guess we should clear these. We got the oil filter. Okay, brake pads. We need 2 of those. Alrighty. And fuel pump. Okay. We should have everything that we need to put this car back together that they wanted replaced. Part mount. There's the fuel pump. Part mount. There's the oil filter. I guess we could do the brakes. I'm gonna need to anyway before I put the tires on. Oh yeah, so another thing too is in real life, of course, you take your brake pads and you actually put them inside the caliper. They actually have bits that they sit on, basically like lips and stuff, that they sit on inside the caliper, and then you slide that plus the caliper over the disc. Usually, also in this case too, you would have taken off, before we did the fill there, we would have taken off the cap off of the master cylinder, and we would have pushed in. There's actually a piston inside of here. We would have pushed that piston in all the way before we put the new pads in there, because putting brand new pads on it is not going to be, because this piston extends out as the brake pads wear down, and you wouldn't be able to put new brake pads on there unless you push that piston back in. Some of them you have to push the piston back in. Some of them you need a tool that actually screws the piston back into the cylinder. And then some of them have 2 cylinders, some of them have 3, some of them have 4. You know, just there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of them have a release. It's really weird. Like there's all kinds of different designs out there. So make sure that you're doing the correct one, and don't go hammering on it. Damn it. Oh, and also too, this right here, you would never take this brake caliper cylinder out of the brake caliper unless you were rebuilding the caliper. Basically, the only reason this cylinder would ever come out is because the seal on the piston, on the caliper's piston, that seal there is leaking. So you need to take that piston out to replace the seal. That's the only way you would ever do that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's been that way since 2015, to be honest. Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. I've actually played 2015, 2018, and now 2021. That's why I'm hoping for another one. 2021 introduced fluids, which I was pretty happy about, and that and tons of new parts. The games have, oh, we don't have any tires. The games have only become more involved. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that the next game has wiring harnesses and stuff, like plugs you gotta unplug, and maybe that's getting a little too difficult. All right, so then we're going to be putting all brand new tires on. Oh, look at that beautiful tire. Yep, exactly, basically like that. Now, when you're putting that back on, usually you're going to use something like soap, or some places have like a special lube or whatever to help that to help the brand new rubber, because obviously the brand new rubber is going to be a lot tougher than the older rubber tire that you took off, which is going to be softer, more bendable, I guess you could say. The new stuff is going to be a lot stiffer, a lot harder, especially because it's been sitting in a warehouse usually. So you're going to need some lube to put that tire back together. And then once you get that back on there, you're going to put your core back in, your valve stem, and then you're going to start airing up the tire, and you're going to air it up to 32 psi for most vehicles. Now, if you're ever curious about the tire size on a vehicle, the most common place that you're going to find it is on the driver door. You're going to open up the driver door, and where the driver door latches, usually there's a bunch of plaques or stickers that, and one of them is going to have the tire size on your vehicle, for what that vehicle is, or for what tire size is supposed to go on that vehicle. Now, some customers obviously, some customers I should say, some people obviously are going to have their own tire sizes on vehicles. Sometimes they put their own special tires on there. You really shouldn't be doing that, unless, like, if you put tires that are bigger, you're going to throw your speedometer off quite a bit, because your speedometer usually goes off of the tire rotation speed. So there's usually a little sensor in there that senses little teeth. You know, in some cases, obviously all vehicles are going to be different, but it's just one of those things. All right, but once you got your tire aired up, then what you're going to do is you're going to bring it over to your tire machine, and depending on the rim's material type, you're either going, or if it's like a newer rim, or if it's a rim that's got a really tiny, a really high profile is what they call it. Let's just go ahead and get the rest of these in there. Basically, there's almost no sidewall. The rim takes up most of the tire's sidewall, essentially. You know, people with them really big rims, you know, on like lowriders and street racing cars and stuff like that, those kind of tires. Usually for those, you're not going to be putting weights on the lip of the rim, like the older style weights, because either they're not going to fit, or they're going to damage the rim trying to put them on there, or they're going to react badly and damage the material surface, because those older weights are usually made of lead, and the newer rim materials, they react badly with that. So make sure you're using sticky weights or the older style weights where appropriate. But then we're going to go ahead and balance these tires. Okay, like this. Balance. And if you have to balance the tire more than twice, or if you have to balance the tire more than once for each side of the tire, then you've done it wrong. You do not want to counterbalance your weights. Basically, what you're going to do is when you go input all your information into the computer, basically the measurements of the rim, the size, the width of the rim, the size of the rim, and stuff like that, and what kind of tire it is for like a vehicle or an SUV or a motorcycle, whatever type of thing it is. You're going to balance it twice. You're going to balance it for this side of the tire, and then you're going to balance it for this side of the tire. This depends on the machine. Some machine wants you to balance this side first and then this side. Just depends on the machine, but yeah, you're going to balance it twice. And if you have to balance it, like I said, if you have to balance it more than the twice, then you've done something wrong. Especially if you're putting one weight on one side of the rim, like on this side, and then you're putting another weight, a different weight over here to counterbalance. It's like, no, no. Professionals balance it twice, and that's it. Unless I mean, you also run into a situation where the rim is not perfectly round, so it's throwing the balancer off. So you also got that. Okay, cool. All right, we have all the tires. And I swear working on the cars in the future aren't going to take this long. I'm just kind of explaining certain things. Oh, we need to be in this mode here. Can't wait till we get some upgrades. So I did that completely wrong. Gotta use the star pattern, man. Gotta use the star pattern. That's how you do it. So basically the star pattern is you draw a star as you're tightening down the bolts. And for God's sakes, don't over-torque them. Over-torquing is almost as bad as not torquing down enough. Because if you over-torque them, you can end up breaking the lug studs. Or in this case, lug bolts. And it is very, very bad. And then if you don't torque them down enough, then there's a chance that they'll back off, and then, you know, congratulations, you just assisted in a car crash, usually. It's usually what happens. Tire comes off, well, the driver doesn't expect it, car decides to go in a wild direction, and yeah. And it almost never comes off while you're just sitting or driving like 2 miles an hour. It usually comes off at like 60. And then you're just along for the ride at that point. You know, especially if it's a front tire, there ain't much you can do about that when you're going a decent speed. Alrighty, let's go ahead and check or let's go ahead and fill our oil. So and again, here we go. In real life, what you're going to do is usually you're going to have a manual, or if you don't have a manual, you're going to, if you have a shop, you're going to be looking it up in the computer when you're ordering your oil, is what type of oil does the vehicle take and how much does it take up. Now what I like to do is I go, okay, it takes this much fluid. Let's go ahead and go part unmount. And I'm going to fill it till I've almost used it all. Usually I'll stop like a quart before the recommended, and then I'm going to check the dipstick. And I'm gonna go, okay, yeah, that's not enough. All right, let's put a bit more in. Then I'm like, okay. You know, sometimes manufacturers can be slightly off, especially because sometimes the recommended doesn't account for the oil that's still in the engine when you do an oil change. So yeah, I'm going to be like, okay, that's near max. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then go ahead and start the vehicle once I make sure there's no leaks. I'm going to go ahead and start the vehicle, and I'm going to let it run for about maybe 1 minute, maybe 2, maybe 30 seconds. Really, I mean, it doesn't take very long. Basically the oil filter needs to fill up. So then once the oil filter is full of oil, you know, this is ran for about 30 seconds to a minute. Then I'm going to go ahead and come back in. I'm going to shut the car off, and then I'm going to pull the dipstick. I'm going to wipe it, you know, and then once I've wiped it, I'm going to put it back in, then pull the dipstick again, and then check the oil level. And if the oil, see this cross hatching here, you got this like kind of diamonds looking shape. Most dipsticks have that. That is the operating range with that. So you got the maximum and the minimum. Anywhere within that range is fine. If it's more towards the minimum, I might put a little bit more in. If it's like where it is now, I'm definitely not putting any in, because having too much oil in an engine is almost as bad as not having enough, because then the oil pump can't do what it needs to do to create the amount of pressure that it needs to circulate the oil throughout the entire engine. So okay, but I think we've done it. Yep, finish order. How much money did I make? Oh, I made it $1,800. Sweet. And I leveled up. Alright, I'm gonna go for this one. This one looks good. Yep, cheaper parts. And that'll help me on my way to making even more money. Okay, then we'll go inventory. Let's open this case. What did we get? Pick 2 cards. Oh, 2. Okay. Thought it was just gonna be 1. All right, let's do the 2 outside ones. Sure. Barn location and XP bonus. Sweet. 69. Nice. All right. Now, yes. And then I'm just going to sell these parts. And sell. Okay. Then we started off with 4 grand. We made 959 bucks. So not bad. Not bad at all. All right. I don't want to do a story quest for every job. So let's do... Oh my gosh. Look at this thing. My lift can't support that, I don't think. But let's take it. Let's take the job anyway. And the brakes were highlighted. Oh my gosh. Look at this thing. It's massive. That is a big truck. Has this got the diesel in it? Yep, it sure does. I think so. No, it's a Hemi. Okay, so it's a gasoline engine. I guess they all kind of look similar, but yeah, that's got the Hemi. It's got the Hemi 5.7 liter V8. That's got a beast of a motor in it, and it's the modern version too. So that is a beast. Is it turboed? No, really. The thing is not turboed. What the hell? What a rip. I figured a big truck like this would definitely need to be turboed. Turboed or supercharged, one of the two. Let's see. Do I see a supercharger in there? No. I don't see anything. That's sad. That means this truck, yeah, it's 4-wheel drive and stuff, but it's not going to be able to pull very much. I was going to jump and see if it had a 5th wheel plate, but no, it doesn't. So this is just a standard street truck. I mean, you can take it off-road. It's got 4-wheel drive. It's got a decent motor in it, but you're not going to be, pulling no, super heavy-duty trailers with this. It looks like it's heavy-duty, but it's not. Or maybe they just don't have diesel engines in this game. I don't know. Yeah, that could be. They just don't have any diesel engines. Okay. Let's move this. Let's move this beast. I don't think I'm a fan of the green. I think it sticks out way too much. That's just me. Also, this hood is fake. Unless did Dodge change their hoods? I don't think so. Maybe they did with the newer trucks. I've only worked on the older ones. But yeah, from what I know, all Dodges, the hood opens up with this whole front grille piece opens up with it. So, but yeah, I would expect this thing to be, being a 4-wheel drive and everything, to be at least turboed or something, but nope. Yeah, this lift is way too small, by the way. And the lift is not even at the lift points. Come on, man. We just ruined their steps. Those steps are not strong enough to hold up the truck. Yeah, this little arm right here. Actually, I'll show you. Let's go all the way up. These arms are in the wrong spot. This arm right here would go to this spot right here, or right before it on the frame. And then this one would definitely go to the frame portion. There's going to be a frame here, and then it's going to go up, usually. Right, it'd be like roughly right about here would be the 2 lift points that you would need. And then for extra stability, most shops have like an extra jack that is a stabilizing jack, and you're going to put it like on the tow hitch or put it near the back. Maybe you'll put it on the axle or whatever, just kind of help stabilize it. Just don't lower the truck down with that jack underneath there. It's not a good day. You can see that on YouTube. There's a few videos on YouTube about it. About people forgetting that that stabilizing jack. They'll lower it down and the whole truck will go falling off the damn thing. But yeah, this is not correct. These little steps are usually made of aluminum. They're not very strong. Okay, what do we got? All right, part not discovered. So let's take a look here. Everything seems fine. Oh, that caliper right there. Is that caliper In this situation with a new truck like this, the only way that I would see that this caliper is bad, like if this caliper is like ruined, is if I look inside of here and I can see like dirt buildup all over this stuff, like right here, and it's kind of oily. That usually means the brake fluid is just seeping out of this. Like maybe the brake caliper's got a crack in it or something like that, and it's just leaking brake fluid. So then we're going to take off this tire. I'm going to see what the hell's going on. Okay. If we look at our inventory, yep, brake caliper was bad. Okay. And I remember this game is very picky about where the parts go. So only take the parts off that you need to. Let's take a look inside here. That one looks pretty good. Oh, this side again. Another bad brake caliper. At this point, I'd be like, that's a manufacturing error, because this truck is way too new to have these kind of issues. It's definitely way too new. And it'd probably be way more complicated than this, of course. These newer trucks. There'd probably be a million shields hiding this. So you gotta take off each individual shield, and you gotta do it in the stupidest way with all the plastic clips and everything just to be. I'm not saying that's what is actually there. I'm just saying that's usually the case. Okay, so that one looks good. That one looks good. Okay. Well, we needed to lift up the vehicle. Let's go back down. I'm gonna need a step ladder to get in, to get up here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, in this situation as well, you'd probably see like a whole bunch of brake fluid leaking out of this or whatnot. Just something's not right with this. And usually you'd probably test it electronically. Test that and see if it's like really bad or whatever. And the computer would probably tell you, be like, yeah, inefficient braking pressure or whatever the hell. Alright, so take that off. And it's just brake system. So brake caliper. There's two more brake issues. Alright. Can we do a visual inspection on this? Okay. Examination mode. Also, we get experience for doing this. Yeah, we're full of fluid, but if we're having braking issues, then yeah, something's pretty bad. Okay, I can't examine that. Okay, let's check out the other brakes. Maybe I missed something. Well, that that brake disc is looking at pretty bad shape. Yeah, I guess in the most situation, probably have uneven brake pressure being administered because something happened with the ABS system. And yeah, look at this. It's completely ruined both the disc and the brake pads. I'm just trying to think of a scenario that would work in this situation. Yeah, you got like the new electronic stuff like that. That's all controlled by the computer. Based on the brakes, and it goes, okay, this amount of brake pressure is happening on the brake pedal, so we'll apply this amount of brake pressure to the wheels and stuff like that. And if you got uneven pressure being applied, like way too much pressure locking up the tire on this side, just about, brakes are getting super hot, and then almost no pressure on this side, so then you're pressing on the brakes harder, and it's just a mess. Okay, I think we discovered everything. Cool. Okay, so that, and that. I think we got everything. Apparently that's in another shop. Okay. Electrical? Yes. Okay, this side had the bad brake disc and the bad brake pads. So I did the sights first very specifically for that. And then this one also had a bad brake caliper. Yeah, like I said, the game is very specific on where the new parts get put, so you gotta have a memory, essentially. Okay. Yep, just the ABS pump is left. That lets me know that that I did it right. Yeah, especially this truck is going to have lug. And also, another thing for the devs that are never going to see this. The truck of this size would not have 5 lug bolts or lug nuts. It would definitely not have that. I know convenience and all that stuff, development time, and would have taken way longer, but just saying, this truck, this size of truck, I don't exactly know the number, but I would guess it probably has 8 to 10. Usually 8, because this thing's not really equipped to pull, but to pull a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, I would say 8 at 8 at the minimum. I mean, my pickup truck is like an off-road vehicle, and it has 6. It's just an off-road vehicle with a, with an extended cab. I say extended, not crew. So extended cab, you'll have a back seat, but you won't have a rear door. If it's a crew cab, then you have a full rear door as well. You have 4 doors. All right. Part mount. Put all those little bolts back in. I'd imagine we'd probably have to calibrate it. There's probably a whole bunch of computer stuff we'd have to do to get that ABS pump back in line like it's supposed to be. Okay, is that everything? That is everything. And of course, we'd probably have to refill the brake fluid because we probably made a mess and lost a lot of fluid by replacing all that. 1,700 bucks, and we leveled up again. I think what we're going to do is we're going to unlock all of this. I think. Unscrewing speed or mounting speed? Yes. Mounting speed and then screwing speed. I mean, you usually want to level those up together. You know. Trying not to make it sound sexual. Alright. Where are we at here? I think we do one more job. Oh, Pagani Hyra. Oh. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. It's whatever this is. We gotta do it. Yes. We have to. Beautiful. People don't know, but I'm a very, very big fan of the Pagani series. The Zonda is one of my favorites. But the Hyras are pretty cool too. I actually did a report paper in college on that. There's like, okay, you need to pick a topic, you need to do it needs to have like a research to be done. It's got to have like a past and stuff like that. You just pick whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, I really like cars, and Pagani is one of my favorites. One of my favorite supercars, so I did a whole report on Pagani. And much like Ferrari, Pagani was also a last name of the person who started the supercar line. So yeah, just like Ferrari, Pagani was the last name, the family name. Okay. Yes, rear-engined V12. Oh, look at that. Just look at this beast. Beast of an engine. I love the exhaust. The custom exhaust is definitely one of my favorites. All coming out of there. Yeah, freaking, yeah, rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive V12. Is this naturally aspirated? Or is it turboed? Nope, it's turboed. It's probably a dual. Yep, dual turbos. Oh yeah. Just looking at this makes me happy. Yeah, freaking dual turboed dual turboed V12. That's an insane freaking car. And the engine just looks beautiful. I would not want to work on it though. This is how much room you get? That's crazy. I think these are removable, aren't they? Like, very easily. Like, you could definitely, if you had two people, you could definitely remove the pins and just pull the whole thing off. You need to be very careful, though, because this thing right here, I bet this trunk lid probably costs somewhere to the tune of 50 grand, if not more. Because the carbon fiber stuff and the, you know, the paint and everything is just too expensive. You scratch it, it's all over. Or you ding it or whatever. Be super freaking careful. Alright, where's that? So what do we want to do to this thing? Oh, drain the coolant. Okay, I can do that. Oh yeah, look at that coolant's pretty nasty. Also, another note. Okay, newer vehicles, like vehicles from like the late 90s and up, started to have coolant called Dexcool, and then they started. There's all kinds of different brands out there, and especially Pagani's going to have their own specific brand of coolant that's not going to be green. You can guarantee that. Green has been phased out for a long time. Yeah, the old-fashioned coolant has been phased out for much better coolants, and you definitely don't want to mix neither. Mixing coolants is very bad for the engine and for the whole system, really. Bad for the engine, the radiator. Oh, it broke. Also, we should probably open that. How in the hell do you work on this stuff? They barely get enough room. Whoa! Yep, we're still recording. That was a weird lag spike. Oh, don't tell me it's bugged. I can't undo it. In fact, I can't unmount anything. Alright, let's move this into the shop. See if it works better in there. Yeah, I can't unmount anything. I can unmount there. If I go from here, can I unmount that? Here. No, I think it might be bugged. No! Yeah, we can't do it. Yeah, I think it's bugged. Oh, that's bullcrap. No. Because I can unmount the battery. But I can't, I can't mess with anything up here. Let's see. Okay, we did that. Yeah, it won't let me fill it. Damn it. Alright, good news. Quick restart. Just did that. All I had to do is go back to the main menu and come back. Alright, sweet. That's all I wanted. Yep. Yeah, I paid 46 bucks. Cheap. You cheap MFer. You freaking got this $1 million car. Bolt Escapade Mark IV. Oh, that's one of the regular cars. Okay. It's not a DLC. Oh, no, it is a DLC. Chevy Bolt? Huh? I don't understand. Okay. Well, let's work on a 4-door Mini. Oh, I didn't read the story quest. Yeah, it's always good to read these because otherwise it's annoying. Hi, my name is Joanna. I was referred here by my neighbor. He's a car dealer. I hear that your repair shop has been up and running since quite recently. But you look like a promising mechanic. Come on. It's almost my annual service time. My buddy doesn't seem to have any problems, but I'll leave that for you to decide. Please change the oil, filters, and fill the missing fluids. I haven't had time for that recently. John mentioned that there was a tapping in the camshaft. I don't know what he meant. Perhaps it'll make more sense to you. Please take care of my car. Have a good day. You too. You too. Alright. Let's move the car. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I thought there was tools. Tools. Renovator. No, I don't want any of that. Over here. Aha. Tools. Yes. Give me this. Yep. Give me an OBD scanner. Yeah. Fuel pressure gauge. Yeah. I definitely need a multimeter. Compression tester. And what the hell, tire gauge as well. Should we do a battery charger? We could do a battery charger. Yeah, let's do a battery charger. That'll be our first, like, regular upgrade. So now we have a battery charger, so we can charge batteries. Sweet, if we ever need to. Which, that'll just refresh it, essentially. Okay, what do you want? Alright, so they said something about, so change the oil. Change all the fluids, refill the washer fluid. Okay. Let's do all the fluids first, except for the oil. Since they're saying something about timing, so... yeah, just a quick restart seemed to fix the not being able to unmount that cap. I was so sad, I was like, no! Is this how the DLC is going to be? Okay, and then... So they want us to change this, they said. So, let's go ahead and drain this. And again, this would definitely not be green. I'd imagine this one would probably be like... Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. It's like, I would imagine this would probably be yellow. In color, anyway. I have no idea, to be honest. A lot of these cars require very specific fluids that are specialty to their... Especially to the vehicle from the manufacturer. You do not want to put in fluids that are not recommended. Because that could cause issues. Oh, don't want to refill it. Yeah, they want us to change this. And again, these fluids would not be... You would not drain out these fluids and then redo them unless you absolutely needed to. Unless they were full with contaminants and they weren't doing their job anymore. That's full. Alright, then they want us to do this one. This will be our last job, by the way. Because we're already hit the end of our episode, so... Can't exactly see what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. That's not how you do that. Alright. So yeah, okay. So those are done. We just need to do the oil. But before we do the oil, let's go ahead and check the dipstick real quick. This is, by the way, if you're ever working at a mechanic shop, and they haven't told you to do this, always do this. When you get a brand new car, or get a car that you're going to be working on, always, 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 before you start it and bring it into the shop, check the fluids. Make sure that all the fluids are there. And the reason is because every now and again, and you probably have already encountered this, especially if you've been working in the business a while, every now and again, you're going to get a customer that's a scammer. Now this does, like I said, this doesn't happen often. It's not an often thing. It is very rare. But if you get a scammer, basically what the scammer will do is the scammer will drain all the fluids. Like they'll drain all the fluids out of their car and they'll drive it to the shop. Like they'll drain oil or whatever, and they'll drive it to the shop, or they'll have some kind of issue that they can kind of remedy, or make it to seem like the issue's not there until the mechanic gets a hold of it. And then once the mechanic gets a hold of it, then what they'll do is the mechanic will drive it into the shop, and then all of a sudden, you know, because the engine had ran so long without oil, it'll develop a ticking, or it'll develop issues without like oil, or maybe it'll start to overheat because it has no coolant in it. And then the customer will then go, oh, well, that doesn't do that when I had it, so it must be your fault. And some people have gotten new engines and stuff from shops by scamming them that way, which is, you know, very, very sleazy. And, you know, that's not to say that mechanics are, you know, all crisp and clean and without issues of themselves or scams themselves, you know. There are some that are out there. I'm not going to name any names. But, yeah, so just definitely protect yourself if you're a mechanic working at a shop. Always check the fluids, especially the engine oil, before you even do anything with it. Now, you can see this engine oil is a bit low, but it is at the minimum, so I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and give this car a test. They said something about a cam, so in this situation, I wonder if you can hear it, actually. I didn't mean to do that, by the way. Can I actually start this from... No. Alright, let's move this out to the... Interesting. So we know it has fluids in it, and it's good to go. Let's see if you can actually hear it. What? Engine has no oil. It has oil. Like, you liar. Okay. Let's put some engine oil in it so that it stops yelling at me. Okay. Is that enough? Is that enough for you, game? I swear. You're gonna drive me insane. I guess it wants it topped off. Alright, you happy? There's now engine oil in the engine. There's a slight, like, just listening to it, there's a slight misfire. I don't hear any ticking. Usually I take this out for a test drive and see if I can get it to tick, because in a lot of situations the ticking's not going to happen unless the engine's warmed up. If it's a ticking that doesn't happen all the time, or, you know, if I start it up and it's not ticking at a particular moment, then I'm going to let the engine warm up, take it out for a drive maybe, and see if it see if it is actually ticking. Which we're just going to go ahead and say, yep, it was ticking. There was a bad ticking or tapping noise coming from the engine. And in this situation, because I already know what it is, just because, well, it tells you. It says camshaft there. It's going to say that the ticking was actually pretty fast because the timing for valves and stuff is always going to be faster than the crankshaft and the pistons. But it seemed relatively fast and definitely increased with speed as we revved it up. So we're going to say, yeah, it's got a bit of a tapping noise to it. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and put her on the lift. Let's lift her all the way up. We're going to do an oil change anyway, so go ahead and move this. Drain the fluid. This is like, it would not let me start until it was full of fluid. Like, ridiculous, man. Yeah, you're going to do the oil filter as well. Always change your oil filter with your oil. That is a necessity. It's not an option. Okay, is it a necessity? And don't be like, well, filters are expensive. It's like, depends, but yeah, most vehicle filters cost you like, at most like $10, 10 maybe $15. Like my oil filters for my pickup truck are like $3. Pretty freaking cheap, and that's a pickup truck oil filter, so it's a decent. Yeah, it's pretty decent size. Compared to a car, anyway. All right. So, yeah, we got the oil drained out of it. Now let's go ahead and take a look. We'll take a little peek underneath the valve cover. We do need to remove the ignition coils here. And we'll take out the spark plugs. Normally, I wouldn't take out the spark plugs, but we're going to need to remove them anyway. And I'm not going to have a memory of where these go, so I'm just going to buy all new. You would do that anyway in this situation. If you've got bad spark plugs, it's just like, it's time for an engine tune-up. So let's go ahead and replace all the spark plugs. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a peek underneath this valve cover. See what our camshafts look like, because this is what they call... this is what they call a... overhead cam system. So you got, rather than the cams being inside the engine block, pushing up like lifters, and then those push up rods, and then those push up rockers, and then those rockers open the valves. This one has got the cams directly on top, which open the valves directly with these, what they call lobes. So, but yeah, then we're going to look at this and we're going to go, even in this situation, you're probably not going to see much. You might see some like flakes of like bearing material is what they call it, which is a very soft material that goes. So I'm going to take this cap off here, and there's going to be a bearing, which is going to be in two halves. One is inside that cap we just took off, and there's going to be another bearing underneath here. And in this situation, I might take a cap off or two and see what the thing is, because usually a tapping noise like that is probably going to be a bearing that's gone bad, or maybe multiple bearings that have gone bad, and depending on how long it's been going on, that could have damaged the surface on the actual camshaft, which in that situation, if the surface is too damaged, or like right here where it had worn grooves inside of it really badly, then yeah, we'd have to replace this camshaft. But the game wants us to replace that anyway, so it's like, that one's looking pretty, they'll say that one's looking pretty bad, and we open up this cap, take this cap off. Yeah, that surface looks pretty bad too. I might even check this one and be like, okay, no, that one's good. It's just this one that's the issue. For some reason, it has worn out real bad. Maybe they ran it out of oil. I mean, with oil was low, so maybe at one point they didn't have enough oil, enough oil pressure, and it managed to wear out this camshaft prematurely. So since we know that is the camshaft that is the issue, we're going to go ahead and go down here, because we need to go ahead and take off this timing cover on the front here, and we need to go down here to do that. So the other thing that I really hate about this game is you need to remove this idler, what they call an idler pulley, which just means it doesn't do anything. It's just there to maneuver the belt in such a way that it goes around all the other pulleys. But this one is it's wanting me to remove this to then remove the belt, which doesn't make any sense because if you were to loosen that idler pulley, as soon as the bolt would come out, that pulley would probably go flying because the amount of tension that's on the serpentine belt. Usually this would have a tensioner of some kind, whether that be an independent tensioner that you would need to compress the tensioner to relieve pressure off of the belt so you could remove it, or maybe this alternator here. Maybe these bolts are adjustable, and that would then adjust the tension on the bolt instead, or on the serpentine belt instead. But yeah, you would never just remove a pulley like that. Definitely not that way. But we had to remove the belt, and then we're going to go ahead and remove the harmonic balancer. Harmonic balancer here on the front. This just helps keeps the engine balanced. Usually it's weighted. Some of them are weighted and whatnot, and then of course you've also got the flywheel on the other side of the engine that's also got weights on it that helps basically keep the crankshaft and the engine balanced to the best of its ability to, you know, keep the vibration down as low as possible. And also, you know, that also helps the parts not wear as quickly. So if it's really out of balance, you're going to cause a lot of vibration, a lot of premature wear. Yeah, there goes the harmonic balancer. Then let's go ahead and remove this timing cover. Some of these timing covers, you would have to drain the coolant out of the engine as well, because you're going to be accessing the side of the engine, which might have a your what do you call it? Your coolant pump inside here. Some vehicles have it inside of this. It's like, yeah. So we'll remove the timing cover here. There's definitely going to be oil inside this to lubricate the chain. But this one might be new enough that it has a serpentine, or has a timing belt instead. Which it looks like it has a timing belt. And for some reason, the idler pulley and the tensioner. See, this is a tensioner. This is a tensioner. Basically, you put a ratchet inside of this little block hole right here, and then you, this one would turn this way. So you pivot it this way, and then that would release the tension off this. So there's no animations for it, so they just have us remove that, which I guess that makes sense. No, and remove the belt. And it looks like the belt is also pretty damaged. Maybe it got covered in oil because this up here was damaged, so it was leaking oil all over the belt, and the belt got hard and cracked because it was soaking in oil, and it just damaged the belt as well. Don't know why the idler pulley would be damaged. This probably would not be damaged at all. It would be fine. It's like, unless something catastrophic failed. Okay, so once we've removed that, the one thing you're definitely going to want to keep in mind when messing with timing chains or timing belts is you're going to want to turn the engine so that your timing mark lines up with your timing mark on your belt. And you're going to basically not want to turn the engine after that, or don't turn the crankshaft or the camshaft. Don't turn any of this. Just don't mess with it, because you want to make sure it's in time with the engine, so that the valves open up at the correct times, because there's so little clearance in there that if you're out of time with the valves and the pistons inside the engine, those pistons will come up and smack those valves, and then you'll have a catastrophic failure, spectacular catastrophic failure inside the engine. It's a mess. So especially this right here, this is a timing chain that basically keeps these two camshafts in time. These ones, you would have already timed all this. Make sure the timing marks are all lining up correctly before you take this apart. And again, once it's taken apart, once you take this apart, you make sure that nothing gets turned. It stays exactly where it's at. And then you're going to put the new camshaft in the exact same position. Oh, whoops! Got to remove all the caps first, of course. And yeah, in this situation, it'd be like, yeah, you remove these caps and go, yep, it's damaged. It's not fixable. So we're just gonna take that camshaft, we're gonna hawk it, and we're gonna go get a new one because it is pretty well damaged. Okay. Do we have everything? Part not discovered. I think we have everything for the engine, at least. Okay. Oh, did I keep stuff from the old? I did. Whoops. Okay, let's just make sure we don't do that. So, we need one of those. We need one of those. That, and that. 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think that's it. Alright. Let's go ahead and put this back together. Oh. You know, if I don't buy the parts, I'm not going to get anywhere. ABS pump, we don't need that. Brake caliper. Okay, this. 250 bucks. That's actually kind of cheap for one of those. Okay. 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 Oh. Oh, that's gonna be electrical, right? Yeah. Ignition coil. I'm just gonna buy 4 brand new ones. Okay. Because the engine needed a tune-up anyway. Alright, part mount. Whatever. Let's go ahead and mount the camshaft in there. And then when you're putting the camshaft back in here, you're going to use what's called break-in lube. Basically, this lubrication you're going to put on these surfaces here as well. You're going to put those surfaces. You're going to put that on those surfaces there. The break-in lube basically lubricates the camshaft or all the whatever moving parts that it needs to until the engine oil gets to where it needs to go. That way, you don't damage the new bearings and you don't damage those surfaces. That's where the bearings sit. You don't damage those surfaces on the brand new camshaft either. So yeah, we'll use a bit of break-in lube to put this back together. Obviously, we're going to be brand new bearings as well for this because that would have all been damaged along with that. Because if you're replacing it because it's got grooves in the surface, the bearings are going to be bad too. No, don't put that back on there yet. Okay. Let's go ahead and put our cam gear on there. Put that in place. And then of course we're going to make sure we do not turn that, and we're going to get it lined up with this camshaft here. So this camshaft is still in time with the engine. So we're going to go ahead and put that back together. That back together. And basically before that chain goes on, we would have rotated this brand new camshaft, or at least put the brand new camshaft in the exact same way, and then get those timing marks lined back up, and then get that chain back on so that all that's in time. So now the two camshafts are in time with each other like they're supposed to be. And if this cam never got turned on this side, then it would be in time with the engine. And of course, you're going to mark up, or you're going to then go ahead and mark your, or put your timing belt marks with the marks on the cam gear as well. Make sure that's in time with the engine. Okay, but yeah, once that's all back together, gonna put our timing cover back on. If I can find that last bolt. It was there somewhere. Let's go ahead and put our crankshaft back on. Or crankshaft, sorry, our harmonic balancer. That belt back on. Yeah, you would never get this back on either. With the amount of tension you did put on that belt, you would never get that back on there. Like, you know, in that situation. Yeah, go ahead and put our cover back on. I think as well, what I probably would have done before I started messing with anything is I probably would have put my spark plugs back in here. And the reason I would have done that was so that nothing falls into the engine, basically. Just a, you know, little bit of a fail-safe. Put your spark plugs back in there so that the engine's sealed on the inside. Because if you drop like a bolt or a nut or anything down in that hole, you're going to need to tear apart the entire engine to get that back. Because if you just run it, that you're going to just absolutely damage both the engine, the head, the piston. Just all kinds of damage. There's actually I think it was a Russian YouTuber, like a Russian car mechanic. I think he was Russian. Can't remember. It's been a long time, but yeah, he basically wanted to answer the question: what would happen if you put a bolt inside of an engine and then ran it, or bolt, nut, and stuff like that? And he put stuff inside the spark plug holes, like bolts and nuts and stuff, and then put the spark plugs back in there, and then ran the car hard. And then pulled it back out, and then he put his little camera down in there so you could see the damage. And oh man, a little tiny bolt or a little tiny nut just does all the damage. It just major damage to the inside of that. Freaking crazy, man. Oh, we didn't get an oil filter. Oh, you know why? Because it was yellow. Okay, brand new oil filter on. Before we work on anything else, I'm going to go ahead and put the oil in there before I forget. In real life, that's what I'd say to myself. Let's put the oil in there before I forget. So I don't try to start this thing without oil in it. Should be good. Pull our dipstick to check. Oh, that wasn't good enough. It doesn't have enough. Needs a bit more. Okay. Also, if you pour that jug sideways, it'll stop glugging. It'll stop glug. Because that allows the air to enter the jug while the oil comes out at the same time. That's the reason it glugs, is because the air is trying to enter as the oil's trying to escape. And the oil's taking up the entire space of the opening, so the air is kind of, you know, the air is being forced in, and then that's causing that glugging effect. So if you pour the bottle sideways, it actually doesn't glug, as long as you're not trying to, you know, pour the whole thing all as fast as you possibly can. If you pour it slowly, it'll do that. It won't glug. Okay, so car status. All right, we've got that. All right, brake pads, rubber bushings. Okay. Go ahead and close that. Oh yeah, look at this. This is pretty nasty up here. I am sad that the story missions tell you what needs to be done. I mean, it doesn't tell you everything, but I would rather not be told. I like to figure it out. Oh yeah, in that situation, the brake pads were so bad that the calipers, that you're just wearing metal on metal, and the calipers were just, or the brake discs has just got massive grooves in them. That's so bad that you just have to replace it. There's no chance, there's no other way. You have worn the brake pads past the actual wearing material, and the brake pads are just metal on metal, just causing grooves. And it's just like, yep, just gotta replace them. Car status, do we got everything covered? Yep, looks like it. Okay. Then it's talking about rubber bushings for some reason. It looks like that one's damaged. Come out. And that one looks damaged too. Yeah, those were bad. Okay. Now, in that situation, if those rubber bushings are really bad just because there's like oil leaks or whatever, or they're just worn out, I would definitely need to support this while we pull that apart, because this not only supports your suspension, it supports the suspension as an attachment point, but it also supports the entire engine and transmission because it's a front-wheel drive engine. So engine, transmission, suspension is all attached to this cradle, basically the engine cradle. Yeah, if you're pulling bolts out like that, the whole thing's just gonna fall out of the bottom of the car if you don't support that. You definitely need some supports, and it's not gonna just fall out; it's going to break a bunch of things too. Okay, check these ones. Yeah, these ones are bad too. So yeah, you'd need to support these as well, or at least I would. Okay, I think that's everything. Brake disc ventilated. 2 brake discs. 2 brake pads. Okay. Alrighty. I keep doing that. 2 brake disc ventilated. 2 brake pads. Oh, let's go get those bushings in. That was the one thing I always forgot when I was playing this game. I always forgot to put the damn bushings back in there. When I was playing this game, it's just like always forgetting. That and the damn starter. Constantly forgetting that freaking starter. Okay. Then this one, brand new brake disc. Brand new brake pads. Got our caliper in. I guess we can put the tire back on too. I was trying to do start pattern, but I'm at a weird angle. And it just automatically grabbed the closest one. There's our start pattern. Okay, car status. Oh, brake pads in the rear too? Oh, come on. Why? Annoying enough as it is. Man, you just worn your brakes clear out, didn't you? I thought we were all done. Like, woo, we're all done. Nope. Still got some more brakes left. Yep, just waggle the mouse until you can find the bolt. Alright. 2 more of those. Oops. Put our brakes back on. I really wish working on cars was this easy. Like, that'd be amazing. Yeah, and sadly it's not. It is way harder than this. Like, take whatever difficulties you're facing in this game and multiply them by 1,000. That's probably about the closest you're going to get to real car mechanics. And we are done, finally, I think. Yep, finally done. No, we got rubber bushings. See, I told you I forgot the river bushings. I'm gonna have to find some music to put to this game too. I'm thinking Space Engineers might be fun. Like so epic, working on cars. All right, now we're finally done. Okay. Bad damn time. Almost $2,000 from that one. Nice. And we leveled up. Okay, definitely need this. Okay, well, with that, that is going to be it for this episode of Car Mechanic Sim. Definitely glad to jump back into this. I don't know if when I'll play this again. I got so many games lined up and ready to go on the old roster. You know how we go. But like I said, welcome 2020. Welcome to the brand new year, 2026, the very first video. And just a quick little reminder, if you want to check out that that one video that 2026 end of the or 2025 end of the year celebration video, definitely check that out. It was a lot of fun to make, so hopefully you end up enjoying that if you haven't checked it out already. Yeah, and happy 2026. Woo, happy new year. All right. Like I said, that is going to be it, so I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.